YouTube, welcome back to Dwayne's World. So how is your lawn looking in the month of July? Is it on point? Is that color where you want it? Are you laying down that beautiful stripe action? Well, you might actually be surprised with what my lawn looks like. You want to find out what I'm talking about? You better stay tuned. All right, so welcome back to Season 3, Episode 3 here on Dwayne's World. Now, I know it's been a while. You guys aren't the only ones missing me. My lawn definitely is missing the attention as well. Battling quite a bit of weeds here, as you guys can see. Going to kind of give you guys a quick overview here of the lawn, kind of just taking you around just to show you guys some of the problem areas. Not only is the fact that I have weeds in my lawn an issue, but also the color is absolutely not on point. But I do have these larger patches of weeds here that are growing through that we're going to be able to take care of when we throw down what I have kind of in mind to be able to take care of this weed problem that I have going on right now. So what I have for you guys is a couple videos that I'm going to put together to show you how I'm going to bring my lawn back to life, because it definitely is in need of attention. Dwayne, what did you do? Is that lawn really the same lawn that we were looking at last year? Yes, it is, unfortunately. I know. It does not look anything like it should. I mean, look at that. Horrible. But we're going to fix that. And I kind of thought, you know what? This is a great opportunity, because I know there's been a lot of new subscribers, and I really appreciate all the new subscribers for hopping on the Dwayne's World train. But there's also probably people out there that are just getting into real mowing, just really getting into lawn care. And I thought I'd just put this video together along with a couple of others on how I'm going to fix my lawn. And I have patience, and I think that's one of the things you absolutely need, is you need to have a little bit of patience and not expect your lawn to go from A to Z overnight. So I'm going to show you guys some of the few basic steps I'm going to take to really bring my lawn back and looking hopefully similar to what it looked like last year. All right, so one of the first things I just want to attack here is I want to be able to take care of all those pesky weeds. Now, some of you may be wondering, well, Dwayne, didn't you use a pre-emergent? You didn't put a video out, so I'm assuming you didn't use it. No. I don't care how busy Dwayne's World is. We are going to put down a pre-emergent. It would take my house burning down, and I don't even want to say that, for me not to do that. Outside of that, pre-emergent's going into the ground. That's how important it is. But even though you put down pre-emergent, depending on the time, depending on the rate, just depending on how many weed seeds you had from last year, it's a lot of factors. I would hope that I prevented a lot of weeds, but as you guys see here, for some reason, this one pesky weed just keeps coming up everywhere. I never dealt with this weed before, and it's strange. However, one of the things I am very happy to see is the fact that we do not have any crabgrass in the lawn, and that's a big deal. Now, if you guys do have crabgrass in your lawn, I don't want you to freak out. You can treat it. However, it's probably going to require a different step than what I'm going to be talking about today. And let me get into that, and let me show you guys what I'm going to be using to be able to take care of those pesky weeds. Get out of here. Okay, so as you can see here, I'm using my Alientabi backpack sprayer. Now, if you want to learn more about this particular backpack sprayer, you can go ahead and take a look at the video I put together featuring this backpack sprayer on my channel. I'll go ahead and link it in the description below. All right, so the product I'm applying with the backpack sprayer is Celcius. Now, the reason why I'm using Celcius, and you can use a lot of different herbicides to be able to take care of both horseweed and spurge, but the main reason why I've chose to go with Celcius is not only to be able to take care of those weeds, but it's also to kill the ryegrass in my lawn. Now, I'm definitely late in being able to spray out the ryegrass. However, it's something that is an important step whenever you've overseeded during the fall season. Now, in addition to the Celcius, one important point that I want to make is you want to make sure you are mixing in a good quality non-ionic surfactant. The surfactant is basically going to allow that herbicide to really be able to stick to the plant, and that way it could really start to go to work. Now, it's important you do not water in this product after application. You definitely want to at least wait 24 hours before you run any irrigation, or 24 hours before it's scheduled to rain. All right, so as you guys can see here, I'm using a foliar tip to be able to apply the herbicide to my lawn. Now, it's really important that you do use a foliar tip whenever you are applying any type of herbicide, because it really helps allow that particular herbicide to be able to stick to the leaf of the plant. Now, the one I recommend is made by TeeJet. I'll go ahead and link it in the description below, but it absolutely is a recommendation I would make with any good quality backpack sprayer. All right, guys. Whew. I think today it's going to be like 109. Yeah, that's crazy. So I did not necessarily pick the best day to be able to spray out the Celcius. However, that's one of the things I really like about the Celcius is Celcius, there is no temperature restriction. So a lot of times as you guys want to maybe spray out your weeds, you have to be mindful of that and read your labels, because a lot of herbicides you cannot apply when it's more than 85 degrees outside. So in my particular area, that would practically mean the entire summer you couldn't spray for weeds. So that's where Celcius is really great, especially if you live in those climates where you do not get those lower temperatures. So remember, it's going to take about 7 to 10 days before you really start seeing the Celcius go to work. It does not work as quickly as some other herbicides. However, during the summer months here, when the heat is really on, as long as you use the surfactant like I did, you should get a really good result. All right, so one thing to keep in mind is a lot of the weeds that may have matured, it is possible you may have to hit it with the second round. So don't think you necessarily did anything wrong. It's just sometimes when it's a very aggressive type weed, you may again have to go back and spot tree those areas, but I'm not concerned about that because Celcius, again, does not have a temperature restriction and generally does not harm the Bermuda in any way during the growing months. One of the things I identified is I believe the weed I'm dealing with is what they call horseweed. I know it sounds ridiculous, but this horse is going to be a dead horse pretty soon. So let me give you guys some examples here of how well the Celcius has done on this particular weed. All right, guys, so it's probably been about 3 days since I've thrown down the Celcius. I just want to give you guys a little look here on how well the Celcius is working on this particular horseweed. Now, where I have spurge in my lawn, it hasn't necessarily changed very much, but that's to be expected. I've seen that before in the past. Spurge may take a little bit longer to actually see some of those results. But let me give you guys an example here of what the horseweed now looks like after applying the Celcius. All right, one thing I also wanted to add is for Celcius, whenever you're treating horseweed, it really only requires the medium rate. But what I did is I went with the full rate, not necessarily because of the horseweed, but because I also wanted to kill any rye that was in my lawn, and that it does require that higher rate. So let me turn the camera around, give you guys a better view. All right, guys, so let me kind of zoom in here. So as you guys can see here, this particular horseweed is looking like it's starting to fall over. And that's exactly what we're looking for here. So these weeds are eventually going to die. I just want to give it more time here to really get it to a place where I know it's not going to come back and I'll be able to kind of mow it up. But remember, one of the things that's important is that you do absolutely want to make sure you are catching your clippings anytime you're dealing with these particular weeds. One there, another one there. Absolutely. Going to work. So if you kind of come over here, you can see here, this is actually a little bit more of a mature version of that particular horseweed, but the Celcius is still going to work. Let me show you guys what the spurge looks like. Although it hasn't changed too much, I just want to show you where it is starting to die. So if I kind of get down here, if you look here, the green of the actual spurge is starting to turn yellow, and that is exactly what we want. Again, it's probably going to take about 10 days before we actually see the full effect. But you know, one thing I'm very happy about is the fact that I'm bringing my lawn one step closer to that lawn I had last year. All right, guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn the camera around here, give you guys just a better view of what the lawn looks like. Now, I have to be honest with you guys. Parental discretion advised. The lawn does not look good. All right, so do not judge me on this, but again, I just want to show you this is going to be a process, and I'm okay with this. You know, it's the worst my lawn has ever looked, but that's okay. We are going to bring it back, and that's what I absolutely love about lawn care is anything that goes wrong you can fix. So let me go ahead and show you guys what the lawn is looking like. All right, you see a little bit of water here. Did have irrigation on a little bit ago. Again, there's some areas here to have to definitely fill in, such as right there. I am worried about a couple spots. Looks like I may have some spring dead spot in 1 or 2 spots, but that's okay. We can go ahead and plug those areas. But as you guys can see here, ignore the play bowling ball there, but it definitely has some opportunity. It definitely can use a feeding. The green color isn't horrible, but it's definitely nowhere near the green pop that we're normally used to on Dwayne's World. So again, I'm very optimistic. I know we'll bring this lawn back, and there's still plenty of season where we'll be able to lay down those awesome stripes. All right, guys, so that kind of wraps up this video. Now, it doesn't mean that the series is over. I just wanted to be able to put a video together and show you guys how to be able to treat these weeds. Now, that's the one thing I absolutely love about Celcius. It covers the large majority of weeds whenever it comes to Bermuda grass. Now, as you guys saw there, even though I had sprayed those weeds, there really wasn't very much discoloration where the lawn was green. Now, there were some other areas where my lawn is brown and dormant and does not look good right now, and that's okay. But I just wanted to show you guys again, even at 105-degree temperature, that Celcius really didn't do any damage to the Bermuda turf. I would probably already start to see that by this point. You know, had I used a different herbicide or a 3-way, I guarantee you, even though the weeds may look like they may be dying sooner, the grass is also going to take a really big hit. This is going to allow me to be able to just clean up my lawn and be able to get rid of all the weeds. And again, if I need to go back and treat a second time, that'll be okay. I'll be dealing with a lot less at that point. And then we'll be able to move on to our second step. Now, I got to give the lawn a little bit more time just to allow that weed killer to really go into full effect. And that way, I'll go ahead and start step 2 of this overall process. Now, what do you think step 2 is going to be? Well, I'm not going to tell you right now. You're just going to have to wait for the second episode when we continue to work on Dwayne's World Lawn and what we can do to bring it back to the 2023 glory days. And that's absolutely what I'm looking forward to. So as always, remember, be excellent and party on.